Meet Wanda Clark, Lucille Ball's personal secretary for 25 years. Today, she's going to share what it was like to be on the front lines of television history in the making.
Lucy was very warm and generous and down to earth, and she loved her family, she loved her work, and she would do anything for her work. If it was funny, Lucy would do it.
Occasionally she would have thoughts about the script, some doubts.
And she would say, "This doesn't work."
And Gussie would say, "Now, honey, everything's going to be fine." And if he said that was good enough for her.
It took this many people to put together a 30-minute TV show. Lucy and Gary are right here in the middle. And down here is Gail Gordon and her two kids, her two real kids who played her children on the Here's Lucy show. And that's me down here. This is Gary Morton, secretary, and Howard McClay was publicity. And all of these people were department heads and crew members on the set. I remember every one of them.
With all the people involved in the creation of the show, did Wanda ever have time to meet the big stars coming to join in on Lucy's fiascos?
Everyone that did the show I got to meet and spend time with. Carol Burnett was one of the nicest people I ever met. Gail Gordon was just the nicest gentleman in Hollywood, I think. So I would meet, especially the musical stars. We would, of course, I always had a folder full of work to sign, letters to sign, pictures to sign. And I'd gather up a folder and go down to the stage and wait till Lucy had a break to come and sign all those things. And so I got to watch all the rehearsals I wanted to. When she did some movies, I would even go to the location just to watch. It was always so much fun.
Wanda was right there in the thick of it. Whether she knew it or not, she was involved in the evolution and history of television. But was it all behind the scenes? Or did Wanda ever have time in the spotlight herself?
This was me when I did a Here's Lucy. Only because the actor they hired for the part couldn't type, and the whole thing was the typist, the fast typist. But that's me 40 years and 40 pounds ago.
Very poor typist. I do hope that you're a lot better than the rest. Please sit down. Now then, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. All right. Go.
And this was on the set of Mame. Lucy's wardrobe, makeup, hairstylist, driver. And Lucy's in costume for Mame. And she loved working with these chimps. The marquee chimps were a pretty big act. And they were just like real little babies, and Lucy would carry this little doll around. She had such a good time with them. Well, I thought they looked like real people. They just acted it. They could almost talk to you in words with their expressions. And they would hold your hand, and she would carry them around like a baby.
When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bow breaks, the cradle. Is that a commentary on my singing?
She liked working with animals, except she always told stories about, well, like when the elephant stepped on her foot, or I think it was a monkey that bit her once, but not one of these little marquee chimps.
Lucy's on-screen personality and humor were broadcast to homes across the world. But did America's beloved comedian still have it when the cameras were off? Was she still the same person?
You might remember this Black Gamma ad that a lot of people did it. It was kind of I don't know, a signature that all the celebrities Black Gamma was a particular brand of fur. And it's a beautiful shot of Lucy. But she actually wanted to use this picture. It was one of her favorite pictures to send people as a gag. She'd say, "Because I know you love beauty, she'd give him this picture, and she wanted to use it, but her husband wouldn't let her.
As Wanda mentioned, Lucy starred in several serious movie roles long before her TV series even began. So where did the humor in her prop work come from?
And Lucy loved working with props. Anything concerning a prop, she would just take it and run with it. She always said that Buster Keaton taught her how to handle her props, and he's the one that said, don't ever let anyone else handle your props. You take care of it yourself, because that way you know what to expect. And Lucy always remembered that. She learned. Lucy was like a sponge. She would watch and learn. She did movies for 20 years before I Love Lucy ever started. And she knew more about camera angles, lighting. She could point out something to the director that said, and she was always right. A lot of people kind of resented her for that, but she just knew, and it was her show, and she wanted it to be perfect.
Whether she knew it or not, when she started working for Lucy, Wanda would receive much more than just a paycheck. Sure, we all like money, but there are some things that money just can't buy.
Lucy was very generous. She would stop on the way to work and buy me a present, and she would come to my house and bring me a birthday present if it wasn't on a show, if weekend. Lucy did that all the time. In fact, this ring was Lucy's. She wore it every day. And little Lucy gave me this when we were cleaning up the house, taking inventory, deciding what went where. She gave things to Lucy's friends, and she decided what went to different museums and what went to other charities. So I do have a lot of things that Lucy gave me. We wore the same size shoe, and I could wear her clothes. She gave me clothes because she was in an office setting, and had cute little suits and dresses. And she gave me many, many things. Had I realized how valuable they might be, I might have saved them, but I wore them out.
Did Lucy treat all of her employees with the same generosity?
I'm looking at clocks right now. Lucy loved giving clocks to people. She'd say, I always have time for you. So she would do that to the crew, where she had to give everybody a gift with clocks. And I got a lot of clocks, and they're still running.
So, did Lucy have a philosophy on life? If so, what was it?
Lucy had a very interesting philosophy of life. The art of selfishness, I think, is what she called it. And when she was a very big proponent of Dr. Peel. He married her, in fact, to Gary, her second marriage. Norman Vincent Peale was a very big influence in Lucy's life. And she said, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of everything else you have to do. And she used to send out printed material on this, what she called the art of selfishness. Take care of yourself first, and then you can do what you have to do. She had a brief radio show in the mid-60s, like a 10-minute radio show following like Arthur Godfrey or something on CBS radio. And she'd take her little microphone and go to plays and visit friends, or they'd come to the studio. We fixed up a recording studio where the kids' schoolhouse was. Wonderful guests. Everyone from Robert Mitchum to Gypsy Rose Lee would come and talk to Lucy. I can tell you for sure, in 1960, I had no idea it's been the biggest part of my working life for Lucille Ball or anyone connected in the entertainment industry. But I say it was such a long and happy association, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
What's wrong with this shot? Tell us. 3 shots. If the camera's moving while we're talking, that's no good. The camera can't go.